Hi, Christine. We got two of the best teams in the West facing off tonight, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. But first, NBA analyst Tim Legler is here because we need to talk about what you just talked about, that Anthony Edwards dunk last night on John Collins. Legs, what did you think when you saw this happen?
Well, I tell you, Jay, a couple times a year, I'll be watching a game at home and we'll blurt something out, like randomly. And this was one of those moments because you can't really believe the rage with which he came in there on John Collins and just where he jumped from, and to play through that kind of contact and still get to the rim. There are great athletes in this league, and then there is Anthony Edwards. He is singular, man, and some of the stuff that he does really spectacular.
So can you share with us what you blurted out last night?
Oh, my! One of those, you know? That's exactly what I did. Oh, my goodness. Immediately, I reached for my phone because I got, a bunch of friends. I'm in all these group chats watching games, and I'm just like, we all are firing something off at the same time. Like, oh, my goodness, that's going to take a while to recover from.
I believe it. I believe it. It was not the first time that he put somebody on a poster. You know this. February 2021, throwing one down over Yuta Watanabe from the Raptors. So I ask you, Mr. Legler, which dunk impresses you the most?
Well, I'm going to give it to the nod to last night's dunk, Jay, for this reason. Watanabe was a lot like myself, a spot-up three-point shooter, okay? John Collins is an elite-level athlete in his own right. He's got a lot of bounce. He just made a decision way too late to jump in the air. As you can see, Anthony Edwards had already taken off by the time John Collins made that decision to jump. He probably regretted it immediately. But when you dunk over a guy with the kind of athletic ability that John Collins has, I'm going to give the nod to that dunk last night, even though the Watanabe play, if I recall, was another one in which I jumped off my sofa and blurted something out.
I bet it was. I remember that one, too. All right, let's pivot to tonight's games. The T-Wolves and the Nuggets, they both have the exact same record. Which matchup do you have your eye on this evening?
Well, I just think this is going to be role players. That's what I'm looking for. We know Anthony Edwards and Jokic, obviously a lot of the game is going to be controlled by them. But when I look at Jaden McDaniels and how far he has come now in his contributions offensively, the impact that he has defensively, and then I look at Naz Reid, who has been more than adequate, filling in for an injured Karl Anthony Towns. He's been spectacular at times. Now, he did get hurt last night. I'm not sure if we know the status yet for Naz Reid tonight. And if he doesn't play, that's a problem for Minnesota. They're going to be very undersized. And then for Denver, it's that combination, those other starters that we don't talk about nearly enough. Michael Porter Jr., who may be playing some of the best basketball of his career since the All-Star break. And then Aaron Gordon, who I think every night the Nuggets look spectacular, Aaron Gordon has his imprint all over that. He's a difference maker. He's a tipping point for that team because the way he defends, and then when he gives you supplemental 15, 18, 20-plus points, and he did that in the NBA Finals last year for Denver, that's when they look like a team that is not going to be beaten. And so I'm looking for the role players, I don't even want to call them role players, those other starters for the Denver Nuggets that don't get as much attention as Jamal Murray and Jokic.
I like it. Looking forward to it tonight. Tim Legler, thank you much. We'll see you a little later on this SportsCenter. Let's bring in our betting expert.
ESPN.